Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention around the NFL, especially in the last few days, you've probably heard some wild rumors swirling about the potential blockbuster trade that could shake up the league, and more specifically, shake up the AFC North. And no, it's not just speculation. This one has some serious sources behind it, like Adam Schefter and Diana Rossini, who are murmuring about a deal that could go down right after the upcoming trade deadline on November 22nd. It's a move that could redefine the Steelers' defensive front and give them an edge they haven't seen in years. So, what's all this fuss about? Well, it's about Nick Bosa, the premier edge rusher from the San Francisco 49ers, potentially heading east to join Pittsburgh. Yeah, I know, it sounds almost too good to be true, but the whispers are gaining credibility, and we're here to break down what this could mean for the Steelers and for the NFL as a whole. Now, let's set the stage. The 49ers, sitting at 7-4, are in a bit of a transition phase. Despite their solid record, their defense is allowing around 22.9 points per game, which is a bit below their usual standards, especially considering the team's aspirations. Their offense is still potent, with the likes of Brock Purdy leading the charge, but their defense has been somewhat inconsistent, particularly with injuries and some strategic shifts. And here's where the trade rumors come into play. San Francisco might be looking to shake things up, especially on the defensive line. Sources suggest that they're willing to part with Bosa, who's been one of the league's most disruptive pass rushers, in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft plus a second-round pick. That's a significant haul, but it would also free up around $18 million in cap space, money that could be used to extend Purdy, bolster the offensive line, or address other needs. Why would the 49ers do this? Well, the team's management is likely eyeing their long-term plans, especially considering the injuries and the need to rebuild their defense with youth and draft capital. But from the Steelers' perspective, this is a game changer. If Bosa becomes a Steeler, imagine pairing him with T.J. Watt, arguably the best edge rusher in the NFL today. That's a duo that could strike fear into even the most seasoned quarterbacks. Bosa, with his explosive first step and relentless motor, would complement Watt perfectly. Their combined pressure rate could skyrocket, and opposing offenses might find it nearly impossible to keep these two at bay. Just think about it, Bosa's ability to destroy pockets like a hurricane, collapsing the line from the outside, forcing turnovers, and setting up the Steelers' defense to dominate. It's exactly what Pittsburgh needs to elevate their defensive game to elite status. Let's talk numbers and profile for a moment. Bosa was drafted second overall in 2019, and since then, he's been nothing short of a game changer. In his career so far, he's accumulated 298 tackles and 53 sacks, earning a PFF grade of 92, 1 overall. In 2022, he had an incredible 18.5 sacks, earning him Defensive Player of the Year honors. His 2025 season has been hampered by injury, with a sprained ankle that caused him to miss 8 games, but prior to that, he was on pace for a monster year. 9 solo tackles, 8 assists, 17 combined tackles, and 2 sacks in just 3 games. His pass rush grade hovers around the top 5 among defensive ends, and he's known for his ability to pressure the quarterback consistently, averaging around 10 QB hits per season, with a knack for forcing fumbles and creating turnovers. What makes Bosa so appealing isn't just his stats, it's his impact on the game. His explosiveness off the edge, his ability to set the edge in run defense, and his relentless pursuit of the QB make him a nightmare for offensive lines. Pair him with Watt, and you're talking about a duo that can generate 30-plus sacks combined, forcing quarterbacks into hurried throws and bad decisions. That kind of pressure can turn games around in a flash. And for the Steelers, with their already strong front seven, featuring guys like Cam Hayward and Alex Highsmith, adding Bosa would be like pouring gasoline on an already roaring fire. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this potential acquisition isn't just about one player. It's about a strategic shift. The Steelers have been building a solid defense this season, but they've lacked that elite edge rusher who can consistently threaten the opposing quarterback and create chaos. With Bosa, they'd get exactly that, an impact player who can swing games single-handedly. Their pass defense, which currently allows around 23 points per game, could see a significant boost, especially on third downs. Their sack totals could increase dramatically, and the pressure rate on opposing QBs could push their overall defensive stats into historic territory. Think about it. A steel curtain 2-0, but even more ferocious. And it's not just about the defense. The Steelers' chances in the postseason could skyrocket with a player like Bosa on board. Their odds of reaching the Super Bowl, which are currently around plus 1,500, could plummet to plus 700 or even better, making them legitimate contenders. The impact in the playoffs would be immense, especially against mobile quarterbacks like Josh Allen, where the extra pressure and disruption could be the difference in close games. The addition of Bosa would also serve as a catalyst for the entire team, boosting confidence and morale. His presence on the field would send a message to every opponent that the Steelers are serious about reclaiming their dominance. Of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The Steelers would need to give up some valuable draft picks, and there's always the risk that Bosa's injury history could be a concern. But the potential rewards, an unstoppable pass rush, a top-tier defense, and a shot at the Super Bowl, far outweigh the risks in the eyes of many Steelers fans and analysts. It's a bold move, but one that could define this era of Pittsburgh football. Imagine a front four with Bosa, Watt, Hayward, and Alex Highsmith, an absolute nightmare for any offense. This kind of talent infusion would elevate the Steelers from a good team to a true championship contender. Let's not forget the history here. The Steelers have always been about building through the draft and strategic trades. They've done it before with guys like Minkah Fitzpatrick and T.J. Watt, and they've shown a willingness to go all in when the opportunity arises. If Bosa is available, it's an opportunity that might not come around again soon. The team's front office would undoubtedly weigh the pros and cons, but the allure of pairing Bosa with Watt and creating a defensive juggernaut is simply too tempting to ignore. Now, shifting focus a bit, it's worth mentioning that the 49ers are in a tricky spot. They have some cap space, around $20 million, and they're trying to rebuild their defense after some key injuries and a transition period. They're also looking at the draft for future talent, especially at wide receiver, following some losses and injuries. But losing Bosa would leave a big hole on their front line, one that they might try to fill with other younger players or via free agency, but it wouldn't be the same. That's what makes this rumor so fascinating. If the 49ers do pull the trigger, they're betting on the future and on their depth to replace one of their most impactful players. Back to the Steelers, though, the possibility of Bosa donning the black and gold has fans dreaming of a brighter, more dominant era. Imagine him lining up on the edge, terrorizing quarterbacks week after week. That's the kind of game-changing talent that can shift momentum, energize the locker room, and create a ripple effect that elevates the entire team. It's about more than just stats. It's about intimidation, discipline, and relentless pursuit of excellence. Pittsburgh's defense has been good this year, but with Bosa, they could become historically great, possibly setting the stage for a Super Bowl run that fans haven't seen in decades. Of course, all of this hinges on the trade actually happening, which is still up in the air. But the signs point to a real possibility, and if the Steelers manage to pull it off, it would be a statement to the entire league. They'd be saying, "We're here to contend, and we're willing to make bold moves to get there." That's the kind of mentality that has defined Steelers teams throughout history, never afraid to swing for the fences when the moment is right. And so, as we await the official confirmation, Steelers fans should keep their fingers crossed and stay tuned. The next few days could be some of the most exciting in recent franchise history. Whether it's just a rumor or the start of a new chapter, the potential addition of Nick Bosa to the Steelers roster is something that could set the tone for the rest of this season and beyond. It's the kind of move that can turn a good team into a legendary one. And if it happens, you can bet that Steelers Nation will be celebrating all over Pittsburgh and around the world. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you think, Steelers fans? Are you ready to see Bosa in those black and gold colors? Do you believe this move can push Pittsburgh over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the team. We're all passionate about our Steelers, and this potential trade has us all buzzing. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Steelers news and let's keep this conversation going. The Steelers are on the brink of something big, and it's an exciting time to be a fan. Let's go Steelers.